All right, just let me know when we're ready. We're ready? Okay. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Friday night service here in the Murray Davis Courtyard at Temple Beth Abraham. Now, I'm not leading alone tonight. Eliana Goldstein, who will be becoming bat mitzvah tomorrow, although not at Temple Beth Abraham, there'll be a home ceremony. But she's going to be leading much of tonight's service with me. And then also her good friend from both Hebrew school and regular school, I guess we'd call it, Charlotte, will also be leading. So looking forward to that. I'm going to start on page 6. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth be glad, page 6. Oops, let's turn this on. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo'o. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo. All right, we're going to turn now to page 12 for Romamu, abbreviating the Kabbalat Shabbat portion tonight. And if these parts are a little abbreviated, blame Theodore Roosevelt. As I'll explain later. Okay, Romamu, page 12, and we didn't practice the pre-stuff, but if you want to join on this, you can or not. Totally up to you, Eliana, okay? Later we practiced. A little, not much. And we're going to clap, and when I say key, instead of yelling key, you're going to clap. Key, key. You got it. Romamu, Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romamu, Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. All right, we're going to turn now to page 13. Mizmor LeDavid, page 13. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai bnei Elim, Havul Adonai. Kavod ba'oz, ay, havul Adonai, kevod shemo ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai, al ha'mayim el ha'kavod yirim, Adonai, al mayim rabim, kol Adonai, ba'koach, ay, kol Adonai, ve'adar kol Adonai, shove arazim, v'yishaber Adonai, et arzei halvanon, ve'yarkirem kemo egen, levanon, ve'esirion, kemo ven re'emim, ay, kol Adonai, חוצב לעבוד אש כל אדוני יחיר מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קרש כל אדוני יכול אל איילות ויחסו עוף יערות ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד. איי איי ניי אדוני להבו ישב וישב, אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. היי איי איי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי ניי יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 יאי ניי 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 yai nai 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 nai. Ethan, great clapping over there. Great clapping. All right, Lecha Dodi, it's on page 15. And actually, we didn't practice this too, but Shai, why don't you come up already now and we'll all sing Lecha Dodi together. First two and last two stanzas. So if you guys want to turn yourselves on, go ahead, because even if you're just singing the chorus parts, but anything you know, go ahead and do. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmi anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'li'ila la 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 lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki imekor habracha. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Bottom of 17, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי. על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. We rise and face the entrance, welcoming the Shabbat bride. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. We may be seated and we say to any mourners in our midst, Hamakom yinachem etchem b'tok shavtei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We're on page 19. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot le'Adonai, v'zamer le'shimcha elyon, v'zamer le'shimcha elyon, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. We continue silently, 19 and 20. Tzadika Tamar Yifrach, Kerez Balvanon Yiskeh, Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvun Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yehule Hagit Kiashar Adonai Turi Velo Avlatabo Adonai Malach Yot Lavesh Lavesh Adonai Azitazar Afti Kon Tevel Ba'altimot Nachon Kisachah Me'ez Mlamat Anasunerot Adonai Nasunerot Kolam Yisunerot Ochyam Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Edotecha Nehemnu Meod Levetecha Nava Kodesh Adonai Leorech Yamim. All right, we're going to rise for the Baruch Hu, and Eliana will be the one formally calling us to prayer in the Baruch Hu. Let me see that number again. All right, just 1 second, making one adjustment. And we do yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai. And we may be seated, page 23. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 24, Avat Olam. First verse for you.
Ahavat Olam Be'Yisrael Amcha Ahaveta Amcha Ahaveta Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Akein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu, kumeinu nesiach bechukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki chem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla.
Page 25, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continuing silently, pages 26, 25, 27 through 29. Turn it off for a second. All right, page 29. למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים עליכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם Emet.
אדוני אלוהיכם
We're on page 30. All right, page 32. Malchut Tov Ratzon Kulehem, Moshe v'nei Yisrael Chanashi Rabba Simcha Rabba, v'amru kulam.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש שימי 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 נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נחותך ובניך וקיים לבני משה ואליהו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל 1, 2, 3, 4 מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש שימי 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 נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה
Page 33. All together to begin with.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu V'shalom Me'amidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu V'shalom Me'amidenu
right, Ellie, you're going to start us off. Ellie and Charlotte are going to do a round.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lechaim Hashkivenu Mokei
Yifros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We're going to rise from Shamru, page 34. You don't have to, but you might want to leave your books on your seats so we can clap to the rhythm of the song. Ellie, first verse, Charlotte, second verse, together, third verse, chorus, everybody with lots of clapping. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש,
שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש.
ושמרו
בני ישראל את
השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. All right, remain standing for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 35. Just Ellie.
יקרא ויקרא שמי רבה.
Amen.
וילמד דברי חיותי וימליך מלכותי.
וחייכנו יומכון ובחיי דכל בישראל.
בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ממהרו. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם מעולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתשומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה.
וימרו.
Amen. Private Amidah, pages 37 through 48. 37 through 48. first, you're going to step over with it. All together once, then 3 times. It's okay. What? It's okay. I got it. All right, ready? Here we go. Ose shalom bimrom
Avuya ase shalom Aleinu ve'al kol
Yisrael
Yisrael
ve'imru amen.
Ose shalom bimrom avuya ase
shalom
shalom.
Ose shalom bimrom avuya ase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ose shalom bimrom avuya ase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ose shalom bimrom avuya ase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. All right, Kaddish Shalem, page 53. I think that's Ellie also, right? Okay.
Yikadav yikadash me rabba
Amen.
Ve'amati v'achiyotei v'yamlich malchutei V'chayiv chaniv yom echanu chayedecho be'Yisrael V'agal ha'vizman kari ve'himeru
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach. Me'olam olam me'omaya yitbarach.
Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitshomam v'yitnatzeh V'yidhadav v'yidhaleh v'yidhalal shmei dekudasha
Brichu.
Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata Tishbechata v'ne'emata tamiran be'ama ve'himeru Tikabat salatahon uvatahon necha Yisrael Kodam avahon devishmaya ve'himeru Yehesh lama rabba mim shamaya V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'himeru Aseh shalom b'yamamav Hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'himeru
Amen. Yasher Koach. All right, you two can sit down for a while now. I have with me a teddy bear. Right? It is a teddy bear. It's called a teddy bear because it's named after President Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. There is a Jewish angle to that story, which you probably do not know. But as you do know, most of you, I do a different president every week and their relationship to the Jewish community. So now we're up to Theodore Teddy Roosevelt. Originally, he was a Republican. Later, he formed his own party. I'll get to that in a little bit. He was a member of the Dutch Reformed congregation. That was his form of Christianity. And he was probably most famous before his presidency for battle in the Spanish-American War with the Rough Riders. Now, he grew up in New York, and even then, that meant you knew and were associated with many Jewish people. He also traveled to the Middle East in 1872 and 1873, and he met many Jews in Israel, in Jerusalem in particular, and developed even more of an affinity to Jews. He was police commissioner of New York, assistant secretary of the Navy, governor of New York, then vice president for McKinley, took over as president when McKinley was assassinated, and then ran on his own and won the next term. Now, Jews loved him for many reasons, not the least of which was that a lot of people loved him because he was a real character, but mostly because he stuck up for the Jewish people consistently. When he was the police commissioner of New York, an anti-Semitic preacher from Berlin came to preach a crusade against the Jews. The Jewish community lobbied him not to give this preacher police protection. Roosevelt refused, and instead, he assigned 20 Jewish police officers to his security detail. As president, he appointed Oscar Strauss, that's the brother of the Macy's people, and former ambassador to Turkey, which we learned about the last couple of weeks, to be the first ever Jewish cabinet member. And he was. He was the Secretary for Commerce and Labor. He said to him, when he appointed him, "I have a very high estimate of your judgment and your ability, but I also want to show Russia and some other countries what we think of Jews in this country." They became great personal friends even after his presidency. He spoke up for the Jews during the Kishinev pogrom in 1903. That was one of the most significant pogroms, Jewish killing sprees, to Tsar Nicholas. But he did it sort of quietly at the urging of German Jews. And this is a long story, but at the time, and I'm oversimplifying things, overgeneralizing things, but German Jews preferred to do things quietly in the United States. They wanted to blend in a little more. When the Eastern European Jews came to power, they kind of changed and were a little louder and more forceful. In any case, and they formed the American Jewish Committee. Anti-Semitic laws in Romania also went into force at this time, and Theodore Roosevelt's Secretary of State, John Hay, wrote, "This government cannot be a tacit party to such an international wrong. It is constrained to protest treatment to which the Jews of Romania are subjected in the name of humanity." Theodore Roosevelt was a big supporter of Russian immigration to the United States. He gave an impassioned speech at Carnegie Hall praising how great the Jews have been for this country. Now, after his full term was up, right, remember he had the part term from taking over from McKinley, then his own term, he did not seek the presidency. He handpicked his successor, William Howard Taft. But when Taft actually came into office, Roosevelt was very disappointed in him for a variety of reasons. And so then he ran against him after Taft's first term. He lost the primary in the Republican Party, so he founded his own party, the Progressive Bull Moose Party. But he and Taft split basically what would have been the Republican vote, and Woodrow Wilson became president. Now, how about the teddy bear? So, one unsuccessful hunting trip, his a bear cub for him to shoot because Theodore Roosevelt didn't shoot. I know this is disturbing to many who are anti-hunting, but he was a hunter. Anyway, he didn't get any kills. So his friends tied up the bear, but Theodore Roosevelt refused to shoot the bear because it was helpless, just tied up there. That was not hunting to him, and he felt bad for the bear. So people thought of him as cuddly, despite his bravado, and there was a bear involved. Russian Jewish immigrants Rose Morris Mikdum had a notions store which sold stuffed animals. They were by the story, so they designed a bear. They named it Teddy, asking his permission, and sending the first copy of the bear to the White House. He himself loved the bear. His children loved it even more. They constantly played with it. And because of those things, it was immediately a bestseller. And that's how we got what we call the teddy bear. Harry Golden, upon his death, who was a humorist and an author, he was also the editor of the North Carolina Jewish paper called the Carolina Israelite. He wrote in the book 2 Cents Plain, two of the most beloved Christians in the history of the American Jewish community were Enrico Caruso, the singer, and Theodore Roosevelt. I doubt whether anyone else before or since has ever enjoyed the same degree of reverence and devotion. So Teddy Roosevelt scores very high points with the Jews. Next week, we get his hand-picked successor, William Howard Taft. All right. We will continue. Well, actually, we're going to bless our children. Liana, there's going to be lots of hands on your head, although, because you're surrounded by grandparents and aunt and uncle. Anyone else who has a child with them, or anyone else they're comfortable blessing, we're going to put our hands on their heads, and we're going to say, Elohim k'Ephraim v'chi Menashe, Yisimech Elohim k'Sar v'Karach Leah. May God make you like Ephraim, Menashe, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. Amen. All right, we now rise for the Aleinu, page 57. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedula leotzer v'reshit, shelo asanu k'yoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu note shamayim veyoset aharetz umoshev yekaro bashamayim mima'al ushchinat uzo begov hey miromim hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu efes zulato kakatuv betorato ve'data hayom ve'hashevota el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim Bashamayim mima'al ve'ha'aretz ve'ha'at einod. Kakatu v'torah techar loch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom hahu. Bayom hahu yihye Adonai echad, ushemo echad. We may be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends whose yortzites we observe during the coming week, thinking especially tonight of Ray Baim, Manny Moshe Barcel, Diana Bereskin, Kathy Beglofsky, Abraham Blumberg, Nathan Brody, Robert Davis, Jack Gerber, Vivian Glick, Abraham Goldenhar, Minnie Goldstein, Hyman Gurman, Cy Harris, Zelda Jacobs, Fred Nauer, Irene Lazar, Martha Lurch, Ruth Manasseh, Mr. Mutaram Malingam, Fanny Nagar, Sophie Podolsky, Harry Reingold, Anna Riskin, Martin Rockmaker, David Rosenzweig, Leo Sellinger, Sidney Schaefer, Abraham Silver, Gwyn Simon, Lippy Streifer, Morris Unterberger, Philip Weinstein, Joseph White, David Yaron. The memories have all been with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing yortzeit, as well as anyone else who would choose to do so, to join me in the Mourner's Kaddish, page 61. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'alma divrach yerutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chedechol beit Yisrael b'galav v'zman kari v'imru amen yehei shmei rabbah mivorach le'olam l'almei almaya yitbarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'tromam v'itnaseh v'itadar v'itale v'talal shemei kutsha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish for, blessing to you all, and let us say, amen. All right, so first, Yashua to Charlotte Raganis and Eliana Goldstein for leading services tonight. And Eliana, since I don't get to do the blessing and charge of the bat mitzvah, I just want to say what a delight it's been knowing you your whole life, at least since your baby naming, where I remember it well. For some reason, I remember like the first iPhones were out at that time. But besides that, you've just been wonderful to have in our community for all these years. Your singing's been fantastic, EBA, and you've been a lot of fun, and really appreciate that. And of course, I appreciate your family too. I've known your father since long before you were born, back to our AZA days in Central Region West, Peninsula AZA, Morris Adler AZA. And so, and it's been just great to have your family with us here this entire time. And I want to also thank you, David, for serving on the Physicians Committee and helping us through these crazy times of COVID this year. So thank you, David, Sharon, and big sister, Adina. All right, announcements. Tomorrow, it's a regular service, but there's a sort of bat mitzvah, but not really. Miriam Bayan will be reading Torah, having an aliyah, which kind of is bat mitzvah, but the full-on whole service, ceremony, haftorah, drosh, that's next year because you wanted to wait. People did all kinds of different things during COVID, but that is tomorrow. Annual meeting via Zoom on Sunday. Next Saturday, Maya Engel becomes bat mitzvah. After that, Sarah Ur becomes mitzvah. And I think that's about it for now. We're going to call Ellie and Charlotte back up. They're going to sing a pop song, not that popular. I guess it would be in the genre of pop song or indie pop. It's called Nothing More by the Alternate Roots. They, this was a hit, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, and it kind of became their signature song in Glee BA. So they've been singing it a lot along with some of their buddies like Hattie Gutkin and Aurora and Amalia Dornhelm Campbell, Maya Engel, Camelia Schwartz, and sometimes others as well. And so they're going to sing this as well. It's a beautiful song, and it talks about the reality of how, in the end, it's kindness that matters the most. We are peace and we are war. We have to realize who we are. I want to acknowledge, of course, once again, that it's been a terribly for Israelis, for Palestinians, for American Jews, with the increase of anti-Semitism based on, through social media. I mean, it has been really, really scary, and it's hard to be optimistic, but at least we have a ceasefire now. And, if you want to see my feelings on it, I refer you to go watch the YouTube of last week's Israel sermon. I'll just repeat the main themes really quickly, which is I'm worried about Israel's body and its soul. Its body, I will never not defend Israel's right to defend itself as they best see fit, its body. But I am worried about their soul and what it causes to them and the rioting that we're in the streets. So I'm worried about that. And I'm worried about anti-Semitism that is being passed on by people who are not anti-Semitic in and of themselves. They have no idea what they're actually doing. And that was it. So you don't have to go listen to the YouTube, but that's what I said. But there's some hopeful messages in it. Tonight's hopeful message comes from this song, Nothing More. Exactly. So Eliana, first verse, chorus together. Charlotte, second verse, chorus together. Me, third verse, chorus together. Bridge is just you two. If not, just whatever.
To be humble, to be kind, it is the giving of the peace in your mind. To a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way that has no end.
We are love.
We are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace. We are peace. We are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more.
To be bold, to be brave. It is a thinking that the heart can still be saved. And the darkness can come quick. Danger and the anger and the hanging on to it.
We are love. We are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. peace.
We are war.
We are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. This is the mitzvah Ahavat Yisrael. We are love.
We are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace.
We are peace.
We are war.
We are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more.
Tell me what
What is that you see? A world that's filled with endless possibilities. Heroes don't look like they used to. They look like you do.
We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war.
We are how we treat each other and nothing more.
We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other. Yasher Koach. Shabbat Shalom. And let's be safe and careful out there.